It's no secret Airbnb is absolutely collapsing. The industry is dying. It's over. It's done. It's kaput. I'm selling absolutely everything, and you should too. There is no life left in this. You see what's happening. Why would you want to keep investing? Pull your money out now. Call your agent. Sell your property. This is the time. We cannot waste any one freaking second. We've got to get out of this. That's the mentality of the people in the middle. Here's what's happening in life, folks. This is what's happening in our economy. It's not just in the United States, it's all over the world. If you were in the middle, right here in the middle, here's luxury, Louis Vuitton, here's Kmart, Sears, all these stores that have now, oh, you don't know what Kmart and Sears is? No shit, because they've gone. Literally gone. I grew up with Kmart and Sears. They're not around anymore. You look at what's happening with the Applebee's and the Ruby Tuesdays restaurants. They're going away. It's like Chipotle, fast food, quick service restaurants, and it's high-end Italian, steakhouses, all that stuff. The middle is getting crushed. Macy's shutting down, stores going away, Gap gone. All the middle tier is going away. It doesn't matter if we're talking about shoes, we're talking about clothes, we're talking about food. The same thing is happening in the short-term rental industry. It's that average 3.2 or 4.3 in the Smokies or Kissimmee or Blue Ridge, Georgia, that's not performing and you're losing money. It's because you're stuck right in the middle. There's a reason that when I invest into something, I'm investing into something that is super low end, $395,000 condo I just bought in PCB, and I'm turning it into that luxury property. I bought a $570,000 ski in, ski out, prime location, Whitefish Mountain, turned it into the one bedroom that's the most luxurious one bedroom on that entire mountain. So I can take that little rock that I pick up out of the sand and I polish it and I turn it into a diamond. That's where the ARV, the after renovation value, is literally my number one focus. And that's how I can use that mindset and that experience of taking even the smallest properties. We call it chasing powder, the one you've stayed there. It's less than 850 feet. But my wife did a tremendous job in the renovation and the redesign. And when we market that property, even though it's the most exceptional property inside of the shittiest condo building, just FYI, hot tub's been under construction for 3 years, doesn't even work. We have no ski locker facilities for our guests. You know, parking is ridiculous. There's no outside amenities. There's no hot tubs or barrel saunas. I mean, Chris, you saw the grilling area. It's a joke. It's like Home Depot 5-gallon buckets with a 4x4, maybe even a 2x4 post and some concrete and some string lights hung around outside in the parking lot. But we've been able to turn that into a super property because of renovation to separate ourselves from everybody else. That's why my super grader is so important for you guys to be using, to where you can go in and get an analysis of all of your competitors and systematically grade the property you're looking to purchase or already have, and then all 8-9 competitors, location, amenities, proximity, marketability, you know, all these things. And then you see what's missing from your competitors and you can fill those gaps and separate. So I'm going to drop that link right down below. You can grab that super grader. The other component to this is if you're one of those 4-bedroom, 3 baths with no yard, no nothing, just all wood cabins in Wares Valley and you're struggling, the only thing you're really going to be able to do is to sell that property and reposition. And I know a lot of you are struggling right now because you have a 2-bedroom condo in Kissimmee, Florida. You know, you're stuck with that 3.2 that doesn't have, it's not on a river, it doesn't have the most amazing views in Blue Ridge or Ellijay in the North Georgia mountains that crushed in 2020, 2021, but you know, it's not doing anything now. You probably need to reposition, but here's the mentality. It's okay if you lose a little bit of money, right? And that's where we get hung up. You might have bought at $550 and you can sell at $575, but after closing costs or whatever, you're gonna lose $10,000. If you got $150K into it, and you can get that out. Even if you lose $10 or $15 or $20,000 and you can reposition that to make more money, that is the smart move, right? You don't wanna continue to lose money. You've got to cut your losses and hedge and reposition. But that's the mentality is, oh my God, I'm going to lose money on what I paid for. I don't care when you can access that capital and redeploy it. If you're losing money, I mean, holy smokes, you can just drop it into, you know, an ETF like Spire or VOO, that's a Vanguard 500, and make 8% like clockwork, right? So If you got $150,000 there that's losing $10,000 a year, that's like $800 a month. That's 9% loss. If you turn that into an 8% growth, you have a 17% turnaround on your cash. So I'm not even talking about short-term rentals at that point. But what's really important is that we can identify where we are at right now. Airbnb, Verbo, short-term rentals, they're not going away. They're just getting more segmented to where you have to choose to move to the top, or you're going to be forced and pushed to the bottom. That's why 1-bedroom pool cabins in the Smokies are outperforming 3 bedrooms right now, right? And I've always said this, that 3-2s are the absolute worst configuration that we as investors can invest into from a short-term rental standpoint, because it doesn't bode well for multifamilies that are coming in with kids. If it's a 3-3, it's completely different, right? But a 3-2 just sucks. Look, if I'm traveling with you and I've got me and my wife and I've got my 2 daughters, and if you have you and your wife and you have 2 boys, our kids aren't going to share that same bathroom. My girls don't want to share the bathroom with your boys. They're going to be peeing all over the toilet and the floor and all over that type of stuff, and not cleaning up after them, leaving hair in the bathtub or the shower. So we would have to get our own place. Now, if we had 3-3, we've got that extra bathroom to where we can separate them. Those are the things that become really important. And really, it's like a 4-4, actually, with that many people. But hopefully you get what I'm throwing down. That's why I've really tried to stay away from 3-2s. And I do not have a 3-2 in my entire portfolio today. Look, are you a short-term rental owner just like me? You could be a co-host, maybe even a property manager, and you struggle with the back end, the bookkeeping, the credit card reconciliation. Well, if you're not familiar with Baselane, you need to take a look at them, because that's completely changed my life and my relationship with QuickBooks. I don't know if I should say that or not, but literally, it's the bane of my existence. Baselane has AI that's implemented, and it's made mine and my wife's, Bria's, life so much easier to take care of all of our properties, from a co-hosting side to the side that we own. It's an absolute game changer, and literally it's saving us thousands of dollars a month based on our time to have to reconcile our books. The AI feature is just absolutely sick inside of Baselane. Plus, they have banking that goes along with it, and they give us 3.35% interest. They have debit cards. So now we can follow the asset protection and silo everything, right? Banking, bookkeeping, all in one spot. Dedicated debit card, 3.35%. What are you waiting for? I switched to Baselane, and I recommend you do too. It's also one of the reasons that I always invest in the outside first, because nobody can replicate what I have from the outside. Now, that can be taken away from me, and we've seen that in Gulf Shores, Alabama, where I had the #1 performing tier 2 property for 3.5 years. It's still the #1 performing property, but I'm slowly dissipating as I have a house built in front of me. I had 4 open lots. That's why I bought it. And I knew it wouldn't last forever, but I got a 3.5-year run with no houses in front of me. And I could market that property as almost beachfront. Now I have to get more creative. I've added cabanas. I'm getting quotes on adding a pickleball court right now. All of these things that don't exist. That's what I use a super grader for. I mean, we've got like 2 pickleball courts in all of the Gulf Shores area right now. So it's about creating separation. So if you are stuck in the middle, you've got to figure out, are you going to compete on price and you're going to get pushed down? Or are you going to figure out how you can level up your property and start to go after Wealthy Wendy and turn that into a super property? If you want help with that, just leave a comment down below or shoot me a private DM on Instagram, BillFaith73. That's F-A-E-T-H, BillFaith73 on Instagram. And I'm happy to help you try to make that decision and evaluate where you're at right now. But before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video.